Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation, Gauri Mahalla Pehla. Prathme Brahma Kalai Ghar Aia, Brahma Kamal Payal na paya, Agya nahi lini Param pulaya, Jo upajai so kaal sanghariya, Hum har rakhe gur sabad bichari rahao. सुल्तान खान बादशाह नहीं रहना, ना मोह भूले जम का दुख सहना। मैं दर नाम जियो राखो रहना, चौधरी राजे नहीं किसे बुकाम, साह मरै संचह माया धाम। मैं धन दीजै हर अमृत नाम, रैयत महर मुकद्दम सिकदार, नहचल कोई न दीसै संसार। अफरयो काल कूड़ सिर मारै, नहचल एक सच्चा सच सोई, जिन कर साजी तिनह सब गोई। ओ गुरमुखै जापै तां पत होई, काजी सेख पेख फकीरा, वडे कहावै हाउ मैं तन पीड़ा। काल न छोड़ै बिन सतगुर की तीरा, काल जाल जिहवा अर नैनी, कानी काल सुनै बिख बैणी, बिन सबदै मुठे दिन रैणी। ਹਿਰਦੈ ਸਾਚ ਵਸੈ ਹਰ ਨਾਏ, ਕਾਲ ਨ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਸਕੈ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਏ। ਨਾਨਕ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਸਮਾਏ, ਹਿਰਦੈ ਸਾਚ ਵਸੈ ਹਰ ਨਾਏ, ਕਾਲ ਨ ਜੋਹਿ ਸਕੈ ਗੁਣ ਗਾਏ। ਨਾਨਕ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਸਮਾਏ। Guru Babaji talks about time, Kal, which is also a term used for the agency of death. And the fact that the impression of time on our minds and its effects, time creating this illusion of past, present, and future, which kind of links our mind to the past, and the way to break through this illusion. He begins by talking about the creation of man, if you will, called Brahma, creator. We are, after all, co-creators. We are creators on a small scale. So the Guru starts with the mythology of Brahma. He says, Prathme Brahma Kalai Ghar Aia. In the beginning, Brahma emerged into this realm of time, meaning he became subject to time and death. Brahma Kamal Payal na paya. Against the wishes of the Creator, so the myth goes, Brahma attempted to scale the extent of creation. Instead, Agya nahi lini Brahma pulaya, because he went against the wishes. He tried to scale creation. All he got was a lot of delusion instead. So the story goes that Brahma was the first person created, and he emerged from a lotus called Hiranyagarbha, which is a lotus emerging out of the navel of the god Vishnu. And once he was out, he tried to take an extent, to measure the extent of creation. But the story goes that Vishnu kept elongating the stem, and so he was never able to grasp the totality. But the word Brahma, although used for the creator God, also signifies the mind. And the spiritual effulgence that comes out of the Supreme Creator. He's also thought of as the body of knowledge, because he was given the Vedas, so to speak. Brahma comes from the word expanded, great, spirit, living entity. So the divine essence within us can be thought of as Brahm, which is what we have to connect. Brahma signifies the ego mind. And the ego mind is constantly trying to take the measure of things. But it's the ego mind that is also the creative entity. So here's a very interesting story. And Guruji then goes on to speak about time and the fear of death that accompanies the idea of time. Our existential fear is connected with time, the notion of time. Jo upajay so kal sangarya, that which is created, or shall we say that which is manifested, that which emerges, upajay. Because to say created is a bit of a misnomer, because you see, even Brahma emerged from the navel of Vishnu. So the idea of creation as we see it is not that it was created, removed from the Creator, but the fact is that it emerged from the Creator. So jo upajaya so kal sangarya. Time, death modifies whatever emerges. And that is the source of our existential fear. Death, the ego. So the Guru says, Ham har rakhe, gur sabda bichare. But reflection on the message of the Guru Enlightener will reveal to us that the self is really our protector. So you see, the body is degradable, but the Guru will tell you that you're not the body. You are the self, the essence within, which is eternal. That is really the key to understand that. But here's our problem. Maya bohe devi sabba-a-deva. Everyone, including the gods and goddesses, are snared by Maya. We are all hypnotized. And kal na choda bin gur ki seva. Time, death is not going to spare even the gods and goddesses unless we have good wisdom, and we will see and understand and realize the reality of death, or what it really means, and will not have fear. So the Guru is saying, Kal na choda, except for Oho Abhinasi Alak Abeva. Only the Supreme One, the unfathomable, the ineffable, remains untouched by time, death. And that is the self within us. So you see, the need here is to discern the self within. And once you do that, realize that, then you understand that what you have considered death and birth doesn't apply to you really. that it's the body that comes and goes, and that is just part of the process. The Guru again emphasizes the lack of self-knowledge in rulers, in chiefs, in sovereigns. It doesn't matter who you are. They all suffer the pangs of death without Guru wisdom. Sultan, Khan, Badshah, nahi rehna. They are not permanent. Namoh pule, devoid of self-knowledge. Jamka dukh sehna. You have to endure the fear of death. But the Guru says, Main dhar naam jio rakho rehna. I have knocked at your door, at the door of your wisdom. And I have placed myself at the mercy of the self. So keep me in whichever way you wish. This is total surrender. We talked about bhakti in the previous passage. Total unswerving surrender is the beginning of wisdom. And the Guru is touching upon that. So whether you're a landowner, whether you're a chief or anyone else, Chaudhary, Raje, nahi kise mukam. Mukam is destination. This world is not your destination. And all the accumulated wealth that you have collected, we are collecting things. The Guru says it will be of no use. Saha mare sancheh maya naam. And the Guru then again goes on to say, I pray for the wealth of self-knowledge, which is the sap of life. It's life-giving. That is what I seek. Main dhan dijai har amrit naam. Again, whether it is an ordinary person, a broker, the administrator, the police officer, the Guru is giving us a lot of examples. Rayyat, Mehr, Muqaddam, Sikdare. Nehchal koe na dise sansare. No one is seen to be permanent here. Afriyo Kal. Afriyo means the one that doesn't turn, that is relentless. Kal is relentless. Kood sir mare. People who have not understood this are dragged, the egocentric, the kude, by the hair. It's just a metaphor, a figure of speech. The point being that they suffer this fear of death. Only that self with a capital S is indestructible and eternal. That self. Which one? The one who brought forth this creation. Nehchal ek sacha sach soi. And who is that? Jinkar saji tineh sab goi. Who brought existence into manifestation. So if you are Gur guided, if you receive the discernment from Gur wisdom, you will realize this. Oh Gurmukha jape. Jape, to understand, will see the point, will understand this. Ta pate hui. Pat, honor, but pat really is discernment. To understand this, because the Guru is really not talking about worldly honor or status. That's not the point. Pat is discernment. Good wisdom gives you the discernment, and discernment is intuitive. It enlightens you as to who you really are. And you understand that only the self is indestructible. And now he addresses in the same manner the Muslim judge, the religious leader, ascetics wearing their different garb, who all claim to be great, but actually suffer from the affliction of haume. Kaji, Sheikh, Pekh, Fakira, different garbs. Vade kahame. They call themselves great. Haume tan pida, but within they're suffering. Kal na choda. Death, they can't escape the fear of death. Bin Satguru ki tira, without the teachings of the true enlightener. That ain't going to happen. काल जाल जिह्वा अर नैनी कानी काल सुने बिख बैणी बिन सबदे मुठे दिन रैणी. So Kal Jal, the well, the web rather, the web, Jal, the web, the snare of time is woven to trap mortals. So the messengers of death trap. That is how, without the Guru's knowledge, we can't escape that trap. But only when self-knowledge imbues in the heart that the fear of death is removed. Hirday saach vasai, haranaye, kal na johe sakay. When the heart is imbued, vasai, it comes to establish itself within the heart, haranaye, self-knowledge. Nai is also used for the cultivation. This is the virtue of self-knowledge. You see, virtue is how the self expresses itself. Such a Gurmukh, Kal na jo sake, because the illusion of dying and being born again over and over again is broken, is shattered. Nanak Gurmukh sabad samay. Such a Gurmukh, such a Gur-guided person becomes inseparable from the self. It indeed becomes the self through the wisdom of the Guru. So again, it is only through Guru wisdom that we are going to break the illusion of time, which is expressed within us, which is woven into our being as the ego. The ego and time, part of the same structure. They go hand in hand. And we need the wisdom of the Guru in order to see through it, to realize who we truly are. On that note, until the next time, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. For those interested in listening to daily podcasts, you could visit our website at www.khojgurbani.org. Thank you.